Good afternoon or evening. Intense, very intense game from the beginning till the end. Two good teams, two similar plans to approach the game. The game changed a bit quick after they got the lead. We made a mistake in one of our build-ups, and they really punished us in the first mistake. But I think after that the game was absolutely dominated by Orlando Pirates. In every scenario, even before the halftime, everybody's asking me about the second half, but I think the first half we were also dominating the situation quite well. We have our chances, especially in the first half in set pieces. We were very close to finalize one or two times in lateral free kicks, but we were not lucky in those specific situations. Second half, I think Sundowns started very well the first 5 minutes. After that, I think the game was totally for us. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalize the things that we create, especially I would say from 55 to 70 minutes in the second half. Not so happy with the end of the game. I think we should still be a bit more organized in the last part of the match. The fifth game, if I count the Carling Cup like a game, we play against Sundowns. Probably need to rewatch the game, but I would say that probably is the best one we played against them. But we couldn't get the result, and this is a game. We want to win games, and we are not happy with the result. Don't get me wrong, but I think the performance of Orlando Pirates players tonight was outstanding.
Any questions from the floor? Any questions?
Okay. Coach, at the end of the game, you looked very angry with the referee. What were your complaints about the referee?
No, why do you think I was angry with the referee?
I didn't think that. I saw that. I could see from where I was sitting, you went towards the referee.
No, it was an emotional game. Pirates make mistakes, Sundowns make mistakes, and somebody else as well, I guess. But it's like I said before to some of your colleagues, we are coaches. You want us to talk about every problem, and it's your role to do it. It's not us. Sorry. I said many times that being a referee, it's the last thing that I'm going to do in this business. It's not for me. It's so difficult. That's why you really need to be prepared. Today was a very intense game, and I guess was not easy for the match officials. But I'm sure you like to write a lot, and I'm sure you have your own opinions, and sometimes you can do it. You can share your opinions about anything else than who is playing or who is not. But it's not the role of the coach in any club to talk about the referees and the job of the referees.
Coach, lucky with the defeat. We know that you don't like individualizing players.
No.
But what influenced Mobena's inclusion into this game?
Like I said, overall, I think everyone tried to contribute to the performance tonight. When the players are coming from the bench, it's much more complicated than just analyze what they did in terms of if they score or not. For example, a forward player like Mabena, it's difficult to go inside the game in the rhythm that we were playing. Both teams find your place, find the touch, find the combination. It's not easy to come from the bench. That's why it's very important the contribution from those players. I think that if in the last, like I said, 15 minutes, just be a bit better organized in the last third of the field, I'm 100% sure that we will even create a couple of more problems to the opponent. But we try with heart, with determination, but it was not possible.
Thanks. Coach, like with the result, looking at today's results, on paper it's sort of like it's going to be more difficult now for you to win the title. Sort of like it's a huge setback, but there's a realistic chance of a Champions League spot. How important is it going to be for the team to qualify for the Champions League? Thanks.
I cannot think so much about the objectives in the end of the season in this moment. It was a very intense game. The only thing that I can tell you is that playing in the level we did it today, considering the level of our opponent, it's the 14th game in a row that these guys win tonight here in a difficult environment. The level that Pirates play tonight makes me feel very optimistic, very positive about the future. If we manage to perform in this level, we are not going to lose many points this season, and we will continue the process in the future much more strong. I think everybody with a minimum knowledge about football can understand tonight who was the better team and why. Maybe.
Good evening, Coach. Unlike in the result, you spoken about, it was there was mistakes from both sides. Do you think this is what the game would have gone? Your side would win based on each other's mistakes, and Sundowns capitalized on your mistake. They also did mistakes. You didn't capitalize. Was that the main difference as to one capitalizing and one not? Just simply as that.
Yeah, if we simplify the game, yes. We like I said, we made a mistake, unforced mistake, because it was even unexpected for me, understanding the moment that the ball it's rolling. I was expecting a different pass, but it happens. We have a bad first touch, the opponent was sharp, so every time there is a mistake, there is someone who is doing the things well, I think the game in the first half, the first 20-25 minutes seems for me to be very tactical, with the ball so much time on Sipo and Williams, kind of a chess game, looking for the moment where someone is jumping late and creating one space to occupy and play, because they are all very good players, so they can put the ball where they want. And in that first moment of the match, they were sharp and smart in one anticipation, and they are good when they are facing the goal, and they punish us in that moment. Then we have our chances. I think the result should be different, but it's what it is. This is a game of goals and mistakes. If we want to simplify the game, there's 2 goals. You have to defend your goal better than the opponent, and you have to smash the other goal if you want to win. And today, in those 2 spots on the field, they were better than us anywhere else, in my opinion. But it's not enough to win the game. But it's going to be something, an important value active for us for the future, to see the way that we can perform, like I said, against a team like Sundowns.
Coach, Sipo is a very different profile goalkeeper to many of your keepers, like Ofori, Pochane. But his abilities and his strengths, has he shown enough to suggest that he's the type of keeper you need for your tactical system now?
We running and working with the intention to be a team which is trying to play in possession with 11 players. and out of possession with 11 players. That's the objective. Again, we continue with the, if I try to simplify the game as much as possible. So we really need to, especially against teams like this one, we need to count and use the goalkeeper like a football player when we are in possession, and we try to do it. It doesn't matter who is in the goal. I know that when we played the NTN 8 first leg here in Orlando, I think that we all agreed that we dominate the game as well with the ball from the back, and Richard Ofori was playing that game there. We did it in a different way. We tried to use the strengths we have on the field, and like I said, we have, like you said, we have different profiles in that position, and we try to get the better use of them when they are on the field. All of them have credit, and yeah, we keep working on it.
Yes, Coach Villa from SABC. Just to go back on the issue of referees, you know, sometimes here in the country it works differently. You know, the message is more powerful when it comes from you and we ask questions. Yes, I don't know. I'm telling you how it works with with everyone. But having watched the game and seen some of the incidents, and I think football has moved now to that space. Would the issue of VAR being fast-tracked, because I saw I think there were some calls, even maybe a penalty call for Pirates. Would the issue of VAR being fast-tracked help in this kind of a situation, help the match officials? Fast-tracking of VAR.
Like I said before, I will repeat myself. It's so difficult to be a referee. Okay, you really need to be prepared. When the game is a game like Pirates Sundowns, you cannot expect an easy game. It's very simple. So then you have to be prepared for that game. Now it's your decision to analyze. You know, if you want to do it, it could be interesting. If the game was well managed, because being a referee is an art. It's very difficult. It's not only apply the rules, it's much more than that. It's understand what is one team doing, what is the other trying to do to counteract, and then try to be fair. We're coming from a World Cup very recently, just 1 or 1.5 months ago, where we all have the chance to see extra times of 14, 15 minutes. Am I right or wrong? But we want to do the things different. It's fine. I'm not talking about decisions on the field, penalties, or because, like I said, it's so difficult. But there are things in the refereeing which are easy, very easy, very.
We'll take the final 3 questions, starting from there.
Coach, I heard you loud and clear that sometimes we have to use goalkeepers as players, right? Now, my question is, in modern football, goalkeepers distribution of balls makes a team tick and gives impetus and ammunition to attack. So now, I've watched the game the whole 90 minutes, and it was sluggish goalkeeper kept on playing the back of the ball, wasting time. Was that your instruction, and I were able with that? Thank you.
My goalkeeper wasting time? No. I think we think that we were in disadvantage most of the time. I think Sundowns scored after 7 minutes. So we're there. We know that if we want to beat Sundowns, a team like Sundowns, not only Sundowns, a team like Sundowns, one of the important things to do It's to reduce the percentage of possession that they used to have. If I'm not mistaken, we have today a 60% of possession. I don't know when was the last time that Sundowns lost the possession against one team in PSL. Probably not. It's not so frequent. We cannot do that without the keeper. We cannot do it. It's simple. There's one game to play in our side. It's 8 against 6 or 9 against 6 that we need to play with the keeper if we want to reduce the level of possession. I'm talking too much today, I think. The plan cannot change because you concede one goal in 6 minutes. It was an accident. It was not because we didn't even have time to test our plan to say, okay, forget the keeper, let's go and play there to Kermit with Mokoena. We're going to win a lot of balls there for sure. You know what I mean? We have to continue. So it's not like I explained it before. We are not wasting time. We're trying to provoke some certain scenarios that can give us advantage to progress. And for that, we need a keeper. If the opponent is pressing high, if the opponent is, let's think that Sundowns decides to drop after the goal, then we don't need the keeper anymore. We're going to manipulate them with the center pass. But if they continue pressing, we need a keeper. If we use the keeper just to play the long ball, then we are not really using the keeper. I don't know if I express myself. We need time. We need the keeper of time on the ball to really use the keeper to attract somebody. Because if my keeper has the ball, they have 10 players to press. Williams is not going to join the pressing, right? So if someone is going to my keeper, then there is one player free. That's the way. It's the same that Sundown does. How many times Williams spent on the ball today? Pretty much the same than Sipo. So there was not so much difference between what both teams were trying to do.
Coach, you're the coach in South Africa here. Coach, I look at the quality of players that you didn't have available to you today. The likes of Lord, Da, Magaringe, or Ford, just to name but a few. And when you look at a game of today's small margins, can you not help but feel that maybe when you get some of those guys back, maybe even 3, that they could have made the difference to today? And also on the flip side of that question, does that then give you encouragement that when you have some of that personnel back, plus the new signings that you've just signed, the ceiling of your Orlando Pirates team gets higher and higher, and you can probably have a better season in the next season?
Obviously, we have a very good squad. I can't complain. It's there's players, quality players everywhere, and it's a headache for the coach, obviously, to decide which one is the best one. This is not. We're not playing FIFA. We don't simulate games. It's difficult, That's the complexity of my job, and that's why they brought me here, and that's why there's difference between coaches, because you have to manage all of these aspects. I'm happy to have this level in the squad. I really enjoy every training session because they are so good. But then, unfortunately, I have to choose 11, and if you see the players who are not even making to be in the 20 list, you can imagine, how difficult it is. But at the same time, I would like to have everybody ready to play, and that will help me to get close to the point where we want to be right now, and also thinking in the medium-term future, obviously.
Final question.
Joseph from Sports. Coach, at some stage you made it clear that you don't like to lose rather. And here at home, you played in front of a capacity crowd. The fans were disappointed, but they kept on, giving support. Even when there was a set piece, they would sing loud. What does it say to you about the commitment that you got from the fans as you were building up to this match, and even during the match, even when you lost the match? And was it also a 1-0 match, according to you?
What was the last question?
This match, is it fair that you only lost it on 1-0, or you would have preferred probably if it was 3-2 or a different score than 1-0?
We can play that game, I think I'm happy with the performance. I know that playing the way we did it today, we're not going to lose many points. but we need to find a way to replicate this, you know, against every opponent. Now, it's not going to help me to think if we should have win. They won. They scored one. We didn't. That's football. We have seen this game many times in history, and we need to be more precise in the last meters if we want to win games. And it doesn't. If I say now, it seems that I'm crying. You know, that we should have scored and we didn't. My mind is not there. My mind is in see the team growing week after week. Like I said, facing today an incredible opponent, and well, you show what happened for a while there. And the fans. I think the Pirates fans are smart. They are clever. They know when the players are giving everything for the badge. They know when we try to do everything in order to change the result, like we did today. So I think they should be proud of the team, proud of the players, and hoping to see them soon, and hopefully next time with 3 points against Maribor. I think next time here. So I think fans are helping us as much as they can.